Your girl got an invite from the fantastic Square Enix to get a hands-on preview for Final Fantasy XVI, and some of the gameplay footage here has never been shown before. Hello you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. If you clicked on this video, you're probably as excited as I am for Final Fantasy XVI, but maybe you want to learn a little bit more about it before you click on that pre-order. So let me tell you 5 things you absolutely must know to decide if this is the game for you. Keep in mind that the footage I'm showing you here was provided by Square Enix, and my experience with it was linear and predetermined because in these events, there are only certain things you're allowed to do in-game, so this might be subject to change in the full release. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get started.
Go on, you're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Shields dismissed.
Let's begin with a spoiler-free chat about the story. A lot of you have been wondering if you need to play previous games, and you absolutely don't. Final Fantasy XVI has a new world, new lore, new characters, new story, and it's all here for you to try for the first time. This story is about Clive, the firstborn son of the Archduke of Rosaria, and so you're jumping between 3 phases of Clive's life, which is an interesting take into storytelling. It can leave you on your toes as the plot shows you a glimpse of what he's going through at each stage. Now, Clive was supposed to be next in line to inherit the first icon of fire, but something happens. I'm not gonna tell you too much because again, I really don't like having spoilers in my videos. So let's just say his fate changes and now he acts as the first shield of Rosaria, and the burden of protecting it lies on his shoulders. With my experience so far, Final Fantasy does not shy away from having major plot twists, and if what we saw in that preview tells me anything, we're in for a wild ride. The good thing though is that there's something called active time lore. So if you're like me and tend to forget things that happen, this will help you remember different story points, and the characters feel like they're gonna be just so memorable. Oh, and we actually got to meet the voice actors, so I got a quick chat with Ben Starr, the voice actor of Clive, as well as Nina, the voice actress of Benedicta, and they are one of the sweetest people ever. Now, if you're wondering how long this game is gonna be, I would say just book a week off from now because you're in for a really long story. You're gonna need 35 hours to complete the basic story, and make that 70 if you plan to do side quests as well, and I think we can both agree we're gonna do a lot of side quests. Now let's talk about the combat, which is the meat and the potatoes of Final Fantasy XVI. Remember when I told you who Clive is, the main protagonist you play as? Well, he's a master of the blade who can learn abilities from encounters with icons. What are icons, you say? These are powerful beings capable of great destruction, so they are your summons from other Final Fantasy games, and whoever is blessed with them is called a dominant. Some are treated as royalty because the people admire them, others are seen more as a source of fear, so they act as a weapon for war. The first thing you must absolutely know about this is that this is an action combat game. It's not a turn-based game. And honestly, I'm so happy that it's not, because most turn-based games just feel exhausting to me. The beauty of combat here is that Square Enix wants you to simply play however you see fit, and they let you do that through several gameplay mechanics. Basically, you have 4 consecutive attacks to do, and then you have some spells that will accompany you as well. You also need to evade attacks, and by combining all these, a mixed attack system emerges. And because you're blessed with the power of the Phoenix, you can, for example, use its power to draw the enemy closer to you. You can also use healing potions and tonics, which can be assigned to your controller for easy access. The goal of every enemy is breaking their will, which will stagger them, and then you can use that as your chance to deal plenty of damage. You also have something called timely rings, which will assist you heavily in your combat. For example, the ring of timely focus will let you know that an enemy is about to attack you, so you can slow down the time and counterattack. Or the ring of timely evasion will help you automatically dodge so you don't get hit. These are excellent for beginners in the genre because it will heavily assist your gameplay, and we all know I'm an advocate of removing gatekeeping. I love to see new people get into different franchises, and this is the perfect way to get new people to try Final Fantasy. Let's also talk a bit about abilities. As you gain XP, you'll gain ability points, so you can have a character build that suits your playstyle. And if you seem to get bored of it or want to change things up, you can just reset all points at no cost. And on your journey, you'll also come across something called formidable foes, which are basically boss battles. So they're similar to normal enemies. You need to stagger them and use blessings of the Phoenix to deal damage, but they'll also give you plenty of loot that is gonna be helpful for you, including gear. With my experience, combat felt so smooth and seamless, and it has an overall way of making you feel powerful because the battlefield is your playground and you can take down enemies however you see fit. You will be accompanied by allies at times as well to assist you in combat, but you can't control them like you can in previous Final Fantasy games. And to me, honestly, I really don't care about being able to control my allies as long as the AI is smart enough and knows how to rescue themselves. So as long as it's not like what happened with Trinity Trigger, I am all good. Finally, one more thing you should know about combat is that you also have cinematic strikes and evasion, which are these epic scenes with time button presses that makes you feel like an absolute badass. Another thing you need to know is you have a freaking puppy who then becomes a big puppy fighting alongside you. And man oh man, is Torgal the cutest thing ever, after Teddy of course. If anything, I'm playing the game for him. Torgal is your loyal companion, so he'll be assisting you in battle by either following your commands or taking charge of his actions. He will also help you find items as you traverse the world, and if you're wondering, yes, you can definitely pet him. So yeah, this is definitely something you must know before buying a video game. Hey, I have a soft spot for pets in games, videos, whatever you want to call it, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, okay?
I'll do what I can, as a favor to Goot's mind.
They've got me surrounded. And it was really late as it was.
Another crucial thing you must know is how the world and quests work in Final Fantasy XVI. Now, we were very limited with the areas that we can see and explore in this preview, but based on what we played, this is more of a semi-open world with different areas to explore. And from what I've seen, the world looks gorgeous. There's so much attention to detail, to the atmosphere, and everything looks marvelous. You can use animal sense to help you navigate, and you'll find different sparkles around the world to get different items and resources. The one complaint that I had is you can't really swim or climb anything, so sometimes you just have to take the long way around to reach a point where you could have simply just climbed a wall to get to it. But I don't know if this is how the game is gonna be or if this is gonna change upon full release. Now, you do have a main hub called the Hideaway, and this is where you can visit different shops to craft, better your gear, buy new accessories, unlock new side quests, and more. For example, the blacksmith lets you craft gear and reinforce them. Sharon's Toll lets you purchase and sell gear, consumables, and materials, to name a few. And I can't wrap up the segment without mentioning how majestic the music is. Seriously, Final Fantasy is known for how epic their soundtrack is. And from what I've heard so far, during battles and while exploring, music is absolutely beautiful here.
Still have a way to go.
Is Final Fantasy XVI the game for you? Based on my 4-hour preview, we're gonna go with this game is for you if, not for you if, and my first impressions. This game is for you if you're itching for a strong storyline that you can sink your teeth into for 40 hours minimum. It's for you if you like deep lore in a fantasy setting full of twists and turns. It's also for you if you enjoy semi-open worlds where you can explore, indulge in side quests, and better your gear. It's for you if you love action combat and you're okay with Square deviating from the old school turn-based system. This game then is not for you if you enjoy the old school turn-based system, because it's not available here. It's also not for you if you don't have much time to play, because this is a massive time investment. It's not for you if you enjoy controlling different party members rather than one, and it's not for you if you don't like puppies, which means we can't be friends, because seriously, who doesn't like puppies? As for my first impressions, you know, since I last played Witcher 3 in 2017, it's just been very difficult for me to find a game that I vibe and click with. So not only is Final Fantasy XVI reminding me a lot of Witcher 3 in terms of the world and sheer amount of content we're being promised to get, I just cannot explain how excited I am to play it. I miss being fully immersed in a story where I really care about the characters. My jaw drops because of the different plot twists that are taking place. This is a definite buy for me on day one. It's going to occupy me for June and July, and it's 100% going to be a Game of the Year contender in my opinion. What are your thoughts about Final Fantasy XVI? Is it a day one purchase? Are you going to wait for a sale? Let's talk about it in the comment section, and while you're at it, squish that like button. I heard the more squishies we get, the more treats Torgal is going to get as well. Stay bubbly, stay positive, and I'll see your gorgeous self in the next one. Thank you to my Patreon and YouTube channel Bubblies who continue to support my content. Links to both are in the description and pinned comment section, and a shout out goes to The Game Dimension, Faye, Jacob, Stephanie, Dark One, and Jake Logan for going the extra mile. You guys are bubbly awesome. My PC refuses to stop recording. My PC is too excited for Final Fantasy XVI.